It kind of goes back to the simple reality of life where, well, I can sort of borrow it from architecture, where we say plans don't fail, people fail to plan. So if you plan a little bit, then things just turn out good.
80% of millionaires are self-made. They didn't inherit their wealth. They made it through entrepreneurships and investing and stuff like that. 80%.
Wow.
It's a little bit inspirational.
So, everybody, we are continuing to discuss Wealth Score, and we are halfway through the book. We are on chapter 5, which is discussing Growth Score. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Memorial Day edition of the Professor Joy podcast. I am joined today. First, I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Gary Metzger, journalism professor at California State University, Long Beach. I am joined by the Joy Score super social media person, Stephanie. Hello, how are you?
Wonderful.
Good. And of course, the reason why we are all here, the man, the legend, but not a myth, Professor Joy.
Thank you.
Very nice to see you today.
Thank you so much.
Are you going to be enjoying the holiday?
Absolutely.
Are you? Okay. Do you have special plans?
I don't have plans for most of the days,
Okay.
but I enjoy every day.
Every
And-
day's a holiday.
That's my choice
Okay.
Yes.
because I choose to do that. So people have choices, and my choice is to enjoy every day.
We should all have joy every day. Absolutely. So, everybody, we are continuing to discuss Wealth Score, and we are halfway through the book. We are on chapter 5, which is discussing Growth Score. And that's really important. And I think the one thing, if I could take away one word from the 5 chapters that we've been discussing right now, I think that one word would be mindset. Because if you have a mindset of wanting to save and to spend wisely, then in the future, you're going to be grateful that you've done those types of things.
Yeah.
So we talk about growth score. And as with every chapter, we have a pre-test and then we have a post-test. And so we talk about what does growth score measure in the book? And there's 4 things. Are you making smart financial decisions? How is your long-term planning? How resilient are you in case there are setbacks that you have to take care of, emergencies that you didn't think about? And your mindset shift. So going from fear and greed and unhealthy comparisons to really executing wealth building strategies. Why do you think those are so important, Professor Joy?
Well, it kind of goes back to the simple reality of life where, well, I can sort of borrow it from architecture, where we say plans don't fail, people fail to plan. So if you plan a little bit, then things just turn out good. But when we don't plan, there's another thing I want to share.
Okay.
I used to watch cartoons with my kids,
You did?
Yeah. So my favorite cartoon was Yogi Bear.
Okay.
And Yogi Bear had some educational element to some of the cartoons,
Yogi Bear
Yeah.
with Boo Boo Bear?
So
Okay.
One of them, it says, if you don't know where you're going, you may end up elsewhere. Now, that's a scary thought.
I'm sorry. I just don't see you as a Yogi Bear. A Yogi Bear. Okay.
I mean, I enjoyed cartoons when the kids were growing.
I still do.
You know,
I still do. My wife will catch me
yeah,
watching Bluey or watching Dora the Explorer. I hate to admit. Yeah. Yeah.
they're fun.
They are. They are. So, you two, there are 5 reasons that we stayed in this chapter about why your growth score matters. So, I'm going to run down those quickly and everything, but of course, you can pick up the book and everything and read about it yourself. But here's the 5 things. It shapes your financial future, having a growth score. It helps you build wealth over time because it ensures patience and discipline, which are very, very important. It lowers your financial stress, and that's really important. If you have a good growth score, you do want to lower your financial stress. It keeps you adaptable, something that I mentioned just a little bit earlier about if there's an emergency or something like that, you want to be flexible with your finances so that you can cover emergencies. And you should anyway. I see where they say you should have like 2 months worth of savings in case of emergencies, in case our president decides to bomb somebody. Or I probably shouldn't have said that, but it moves.
You're picking on him now.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
But get you riled up.
I am trying to get. Yeah, I am trying to get Professor Joy riled up. That's true. That is true. And it moves you toward financial freedom. Talk about financial freedom for a little bit, because
You know, the concept of freedom in general is to eliminate stress. Because when we are not free, we are stressed. So, one of the best things in life we can learn to be is free of fear. And financial freedom is the same concept, where we learn to be financially stable, comfortable, and free. And, you know, it's a mindset more than anything.
there we go. There's that word again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if we can just learn to be joyful, be free, not have any stress. In fact, you use the word stress. So, financial stress can cause a lot of stress, you know, because beyond control. But if you plan it and use the book as your guide, then you eliminate that. You become comfortable.
And financial stress can also affect your health.
Absolutely. Totally. In fact, I think I mentioned in one of the podcasts, a couple of my friends, you know both of them, Neil Gold and Bobby Lopez.
Yes.
And I kind of gave them some tips, you know, to help them out. And it was, again, bringing some financial freedom to their life. And they thought I was a financial genius, which I'm not. You know. But I did help.
And once again, it just shows how giving is so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Because in the long run, and it's like we always talk about, I can't tell you how many times we mention this, but we always talk about the difference between joy and happiness.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned giving. So some of the wealthiest people in the world, I'll give you a few examples.
Uh-oh. Get ready.
Donald Trump,
Okay.
Elon Musk,
Elon Musk,
Jeff Bezos,
Jeff Bezos, okay.
Zuckerberg.
Okay, I won't say that one.
These guys may be the wealthiest people in the world, but they do not believe in giving. It's all for themselves, about themselves. Now, there's another billionaire, maybe bigger than these guys. It's Bill Gates. He believes in giving.
Yes.
He has a foundation. In fact,
And his ex-wife does too.
yeah. In fact, I don't know when exactly it happened, but Warren Buffett decided to give 99% of his wealth to charity. And then he goes to Bill Gates and says, hey, what are you going to do with your money? He said, well, I don't know. I said, well, this is what I'm doing. So he also pledged 99% of his wealth to other causes, charitable causes.
Donald Trump did too, right?
So,
Donald Trump has a brand new airplane.
oh, yeah. But he's going to keep it for himself.
Oh,
It's not for charitable causes. Now, it's so funny when politics always have a lot of humor. So Obama makes fun of Donald Trump when he was campaigning for Kamala Harris. He said, this guy, ever since he came down from the golden escalator, he's been griping ever since. He hasn't stopped. So these are the people who are so wealthy, but they don't give up anything. So Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, and they went around to a lot of billionaires. Within a year, they had a fund which had over $1 trillion in it.
I know. Wow.
What did they do with it?
Well, it is for charitable causes.
Yeah.
They go around the world, eliminate diseases,
Amazing.
sickness, help children with food and clean water. That to me is joy,
Yeah.
Yes.
And these other guys who have more money, a lot of money, but they don't have joy.
Right.
Because we've been researching about joy. The highest level of joy you get by giving something. Act of kindness. In fact, I think it was you who was asking me what's the difference between happiness and joy.
Yes.
So I said, if you're walking on the sidewalk and you find $100 bill and you grab it, now you might be happy for a few seconds, minutes. But if you turn around and give that $100 bill to a homeless guy who really is hungry, they'll give you joy. And they'll last for a while.
Yes.
So that's the difference between joy
Absolutely.
and happiness.
Yep.
Happiness can be superficial, but joy is from within.
Yes. And I think that's the key, that it's from within.
Within.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So to wrap up some of the things that we discuss in the chapter, we talk about how your financial mindset shapes every money decision you make. Here's that word mindset again. It really is. When it comes to finances, it's your mindset. A growth-oriented mindset sees challenges as opportunities. You recognize psychological biases. You don't want to compare your finances to somebody else ever.
There is no point in comparing it.
There is no point. That's true. There is no point. Building wealth is not about luck. It is about consistent, smart financial habits. Spend less than you earn to stay financially strong. Even small, regular investments grow over time. And this was a great one. Use debt wisely. So there's a difference between good debt and bad debt. Yes, definitely. So good debt would be if you've bought a home, if you use it toward education. Bad debt would be like using high interest credit cards. Yeah. So wealth is not built overnight. We conclude it's the result of small, disciplined actions over time. So those are really interesting things. And then finally, we have 6 pillars of growth score: vigor, patience, discipline, integrity, focus, and learning. Stay humble, keep learning, adapt to new knowledge. That's what we do as professors. We're always in learning mode, always. It's really important. Yeah. So that brings us to the end of chapter 5. Once again, the key word being mindset. So, what research has been done showing this relationship? A ton of research. Here's one study that involved more than 500,000 people, 500,000 people across 123 countries. Yes, found that people with greater financial resources tend to experience a weaker connection, not a stronger connection, but a weaker connection between meaning and happiness. Another study, research consistently shows that financial security rather than sheer wealth is more closely tied to happiness. People who feel in control of their finances and free from financial stress tend to report higher life satisfaction, even if their income is not particularly high. I love that one. Feeling financially secure is more important for joy than simply having a high income. And this global study from Nature Human Behavior found that wealth weakens the link between meaning and happiness. In wealthier individuals, happiness is less dependent on having a sense of meaning in life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is so interesting. So that's some of the research that has been done between these two variables, having a mindset and the relationship between money and joy.
And I think learning facts about money, wealth, as we talk about in this book, has a lot to do with joy in life. Because otherwise people just struggle and find a lot of stress in their life.
Right.
And it's not about how much money you have, it's managing it. You could have very little money and have a very good life.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. When I got married, I was on my honeymoon in Kashmir on a lake and a houseboat.
On a houseboat?
So this guy, old man, came to our houseboat and cleaned and, serviced and all that. My wife got very interested in talking to him. And one day she said, do you know that this guy has nothing in his life? I said, what do you mean? I said, well, he has a bicycle and he goes back and forth from his home to the place of work. And it's a one room place. And he has a son and a daughter. So there are 4 of them live in this house and they hardly have anything. But he's so content. I mean, she said, I cannot believe that he's so happy and joyful. So that gives you the mindset. You don't need a lot to be happy and joyful.
Right. On the other hand, we have somebody who lives in Washington, D.C., who has a very big house, and he has siblings. I mean, he has, sons and daughters.
Yeah. So they've been last for a while, like his whole Middle East trip was all about trying to make money.
Right.
All his family was there trying to do projects, establish. So he made a statement that, the the first term of presidency, I wasn't smart enough to realize that I left a lot of money on the table. This time I'm going to grab it all. So he did this cryptocurrency business and invited people to the White House and all that.
Right.
He raised $400 million.
Do you think he has joy?
No.
I don't think so either. I don't either.
And he doesn't have money either. You know, it's all money he got on from defrauding people, cheating people, not
Right.
paying people after getting the work done,
Yeah.
and suing them.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, that's how I'm an architect, so I've dealt with construction all my life, you know.
Yes.
And he's built projects. But after people do the work for him, he doesn't pay them. He sues them.
Have you done any work for him? Oh, okay.
God forbid, you know.
Don't we though when we pay taxes work for him? Isn't that working for him?
Huh?
Paying taxes?
Paying
working for him?
taxes for, I don't think it goes to him though.
Okay.
Okay. So now it comes to the best part of the show. The best part. This is the one, this is like on TV when they'll say, they get to like the most important action. They say, we'll be there right after this commercial.
Yes.
So we always save the best for last.
Okay.
We're ready.
Okay. 80% of millionaires are self-made. They didn't inherit their wealth. They made it through entrepreneurships and investing and stuff like that. 80%.
Wow.
Sorry. It's a little bit inspirational.
So 80% are self-made. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Does that make sense? But now, is that worldwide or is that just here in America?
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
And it's
okay.
80 to 85.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
So that's an impressive fact.
That is an impressive fact.
She does bring good stuff to the...
Steffi brings joy
Yeah.
to this discussion. You and I are just two old guys discussing things and everything. Steffi brings joy
Is
to
the
this.
joy.
You are the joy of the podcast.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Very good.
all right. So that's it for this week, everybody. Thank you. Keep on watching. Watch us on what?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Watch us.
Watch.
And thank you to our producer, Solomon.
Yeah.
Done an outstanding. We love you, Solomon. Thank you. And everybody have a great week. And we will see you next week for another adventure in Wealth Score.
Yeah.